Certain industries for sure where people, when they leave their job, they should not be contacted. They should be able to disconnect until they're on again.
Like, we're not being paid for the time, so.
Imagine doing this to your boss. So when you leave work, you no longer have to legally respond to your boss or coworkers. We asked you if this sort of law should come here to Alberta. The right to disconnect bill is being introduced in Ontario and looked at federally. It could set policies around when employers can contact you.
Where a manager or a boss reaches out to you and it's like not an appropriate way, I don't think they should.
And yeah, fully in for that.
On my day off, it's my day off, but if they really need me in an emergency, they should have every right to call me back.
Being a boss myself, sometimes, you need to have, sometimes to, get contact with these people, right?
If your job states that you work 9 to 5, that should really be your job hours, 9 to 5. And I think that it's in response to a lot of what's been happening in the pandemic where the lines between work life and home life have been blurred.
The law first surfaced in France in response to the effect technology has had on work-life balance.
We like to have corners in our lives. We like to have boundaries in our lives sometimes that we have sense of control over. And we've lost that.
Dr. McDonald thinks once mandates come in, though, that could create more stress. But boundaries for yourself definitely need to be set.
It does have an effect on relationships, and it does have an effect on our sleep, and it does have an effect on our general mental health, and not in a very healthy way for the most part.
Because we live in a capitalist, success-driven culture, Coderre says while this legislation is well-meaning, it could surface some ugly outcomes.
But it's an unwritten rule that you really give it your all and dig in for the team. That can have a way of manifesting itself in informal ways, like certain people getting promotions over others.
The bill in Ontario also addresses other workplace issues like gig economy workers being able to use public restrooms and getting rid of no competition clauses from contracts. But both experts say legislation may not be the way to go on this. More is needed, and that's a total shift in how society looks at work.
We as a society can say, let's try and pivot towards a culture shift, that we don't need the government to weigh in and tell us how we should be balancing our work and our lives and how we should be treating our employees in the workplace.
In Calgary, Taylor Braat, City News.